you're a lot like for me. It's like this. I remember when I was young and I would have jobs, right? I got fired from every job because I'm not an asshole, but if I don't respect who's supposed to be subordinate,
Yeah.
I can't respect them. I'm gonna challenge them. I'm gonna ask questions. If it don't make sense, I'm gonna divorce myself from whatever your rules are. You know, and here it is. We live in a world where people are literally giving away their power, right, to quote unquote the government, like this power, as if it's this powerful entity, right? You have this group called the Census Bureau who literally change. They say there's a thing called race, and people are particular races, and they literally change it every so often. You know what I mean? Here, 2020 was the most recent change, and the most egregious change. It said that now here in the United States, Middle Easterns and Northern Africans are white. It's like, come on, guys, like this is getting out of hand now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't respect your guidance. I don't respect your logic. So I'm divorcing myself from it. I'm
Yeah.
separating.
I mean, we talked about this the other day. It makes sense, of course, if you're not producing that many people, then you need to add more people to your team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A team, right?
You know what
Because
they know, bro? What they're doing is not working. What they're doing is the equivalent of people who get on Instagram and buy followers. It looked like they got a
yeah,
million,
that's what they do. They buying followers.
but you can't. Those people are not real. They can't buy your products or services. So what are you doing it for? It's just for the optical, right? And it's silly because that's literally the game that this government is playing here. You know what I mean?
That's a
You
fact.
literally made people from the continent of Africa, they're white now.
That's crazy.
You
That's what
literally,
you got to get people on your team. Like, bro, you on my team. Like, don't ever think you on their team. That's crazy. Because I ain't gonna lie, we got the coolest team when you think about it. So they got to go and heavy recruit.
right,
Like, look at black schools. Black schools are getting these D1 athletes, right, that want to come over there. And these schools are like, yo, how the fuck do y'all not want to come over here to our team? We never
mm,
wanted to be there over there in the first place, right? Number one, we were sold and told that this is the best thing that we had to do, and we weren't given the option to choose in the first place.
right,
But given a choice, we would take less from our own people than more from y'all to be around people who look like us that make us more comfortable, because then what we do will also be spiritually fulfilling, right? And that changes the game. Because that's half the wealth right there. You're gonna this is one thing people don't factor in. When you are not spiritually fulfilled, a lot of the money you got will be spent to spiritually fulfill yourself. So if the experience already has that inherited in it, then that is an aspect of wealth to where you don't have to spend money on. So the black experience at these colleges for these black students, it does come, you're not putting a monetary figure on it, but what they're going to have to spend, right, from not having that experience, they're going to have to spend a lot more than you can offer. You understand me? So you basically saying, well, we can't offer you the black experience. We throw an extra 300,000. Then that student end up having to spend 400,000 to try to get what's been deprived of them and what's missing. Instead, nah, the experience over here is actually priceless to me. How about I just go there? I want to feel happier about every single thing that I do. I want to love every moment, and I'm actually probably going to do it longer because I'm going to be less drained by the end of my run. You understand me? So these are things that we have subconsciously factored into our decision making, and that's why it's unfuckwittable when you're trying to compete with us curating experiences for ourselves versus choosing people who don't look like us to offer us deals.
right.
Oh,
The paradigm have been shifted,
yeah,
and it's happening more and more, and I'm excited about it. It's gonna be a lot of like, it's still gonna be a lot of pain during this process, you know, but what's in motion can't be stopped now. You know what I mean? Just like Pac said, like the roads that go from concrete, like you can pour all the concrete you want, but a piece of grass will still crack through it. The original state of nature and existence always reigns dominance. It may take a minute to crack through, but it comes back. You know what I'm saying? And you know, things it's like a spiritual homeostasis is happening. You know what I'm saying? The natural balance and order of things is in process. It ain't here yet, but it's in process in a
somebody
major way.
man, they said, why I bust down the road? I wanted the experience, man.
That
Some-
part.
Sometimes, like, a lot of time of life is about an experience, right? Like, you know, you got to think about how many things that you do in life, and it's a better word I can phrase this, but aren't worth anything, right?
Yeah.
Everything is something, but I'm just saying, right, in the sense of how a person would judge like a bust down, right?
Right.
It's worth something. But the experience of it is the value. So you can do, let's say you got 80% responsible and then 20% irresponsible, right? I don't think it should be 50-50, right? Maybe it's 70%, right?
Mm.
But one of those balances in life is you go find gonna make you happy. You know what I'm saying? And if you can find what makes sense, and that's not really balance, that's abundance, right? But you
Mm.
got to add the right amount. It's like if you're making the perfect meal, you may throw a couple of grains of sugar in there. You know, not a lot, but if I do
Right.
just the amount, I'm still gonna be healthy. It's gonna taste good for me, so I get all of the things in life that I want by doing it. The problem is that we go above and beyond, where we do too much of one thing that's not good for us, and that's
Right.
what we do ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like you a 10x on things that have no value, rather 10x on the things that do have value. So if a person has $1 million and they buy something that costs 10,000, that's no problem. But when you got 100,000 and you buy something that costs 10,000, you just took 10% of your net worth and did it.
Right.
That's
Right.
a problem because if you do that too many more times, it's done for. So you gotta be that person that got 7 figures and only spending 4 or 5 figures, right? Or they got 8 figures, right? Or 9 figures, and then when they spend 6 figures, nobody even notices. Yeah,
Correct.
because it's at your level now. So the
Yeah.
more percentage room you have to do whatever the fuck you want.
It's shifting people into that abundance mindset though, because you know, well, also content. We got to be responsible about the content that's going out there because we are the content creators, right? So, man, I can't see, bro. Come on, man. You feel me? See, you're fucking people up with that buzz down. Now, I'll with you, but not because people got to see, like, man, like the tangible assets that's going to grow our future. That's going to give us. Look, people got to. I'm doing a video about getting old because people got to understand, like, yo, bro, you don't have a pension, or do you? You know what I'm saying? And what's it going to be worth when you're 60? Do you really want to be working when you're 60?
Mm,
Do you really want to have to work for somebody? I hate, bro. It hurts my heart when I see a elderly person at a job. You know what I'm saying? But people are
yeah,
not. People are doing what you're talking about and spending 10% of that 100 racks to keep up with everything else that they're seeing on social media. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, nobody even cares. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I go on like I got nice things, right? But I don't do nothing that's going to stress my budget. But there's times that I go on a diet or a fast of things. You know what I'm saying? I just won't wear any of it. You know what I mean? And nothing changes in my life. People don't treat me different. You know what I'm saying? I get the same attention or not attention. You know what I mean? So people got to realize, man, but it takes for people in position like us to talk about these things and to normalize people being practical about their money. And we're in a day where it's really easy to make money nowadays, right? And people will come into it and they'll blow it as fast as they get it. You know what I'm saying? We just
yeah,
gotta we gotta really be on people's heads about that because like keep it. You all right, you can get it, but can you keep it? And can you
yeah.
grow it?
I mean, it's like I'm at this point where I take care of my family. You understand me? So like, I got a lot of responsibility on my back, right? So the way my life is set up, it can never be set up to blow it. Everything has to be set up to maintain it, manage it, and grow it. You understand me? So it's like, and that's the difference between some people. It's like when if you young with no responsibility, what you can do with your money is different than a person that takes on responsibility. Even when you have employees, when you got employees, if you mess up, you can destroy the business, and now other people's livelihoods, right, are in your hands. So you definitely got to think different from every standpoint of what you do. So a lot of people don't factor that in there when they make judgments and assessments of other people's lives and the decisions they make.
And you may have bills at your life. You worried about 5 people, or you worried about yourself and paying rent. I'm worried about taking care of my family and my businesses and myself and the growth and the needs and all these other different things. So my factor of difficulty might be at 10 while yours at 2. So we got different levels that we looking at in the first place. So I don't entertain people who don't have the same level of responsibility. You understand me? It's not a fair comparison.
100%. Yeah, man. I want to shout out big bro or baby bro, Kevin Gates up in here.
Oh
That's
yeah.
my, hey, so powerful. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I love that brother to death, man. But yeah, we all got a bill. We got Kev. Next time you back in Cali, to 19 Keys.
People kept tagging me. Time to time I send out the message who should I have my high level conversations. I think
That,
Kevin Hart.
that'd be your most valuable episode, bro. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, facts. You know what I mean? He a star seed, you know? So,
What
everybody.
star see? Somebody called me a star child in the comments a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
I know indigo child, right?
Well, see, we are all particle. We're all stardust, right? But some is more refined, just like a diamond is cold. You know what I mean? So some is just more refined. A diamond is a rock, essentially. You know what I'm saying? You could walk past a diamond without it being refined and won't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? But if it is refined, it's going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's the same with people, man. So, we got these indigo childs, we got star seeds, we got a lot of powerful entities here. We got a lot of people who are tapped into really specific, miraculous vibrations and energies, and some people are just not there. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, but people should, you know, I'll be telling people all the time, man, be mindful of the people that y'all consume content for. Are the people you're consuming content from, are they making you feel bad? Are they putting you in a dark, sinister mood? Are they making, invoking fear? Or are they inspiring you? Are you learning from them? You know what I'm saying? So, I know a lot of people. I've been doing my thing. I've been in this space for like 10 years, bro. Very slow, steady climb. Never a fast, like, trajectory, right? But it's a slow, realistic ascension. And I've seen other people just shoot up, right? And they're tugging at people's emotions of negativity and fear, things like that. It's very unhealthy. And these people shoot down too. As fast as they go up, as fast as they go down. You know what I'm saying?
I wanna read the definition, not to cut your wisdom, but this just brings it's essentially what I would have thought. What it says, star children. Star children are souls that have been on Earth, but have come from other stars and constellations and other dimensions. To understand it all in a much deeper way, you go through. Anyway, but I like just that paragraph is enough for me to understand what that idea is, man. I remember when I was in Arizona, we was on one of them little UFO trips.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the little laser beam. It's in pitch dark, so you got to drive up, and it's pitch dark outside. And so you see the ships. They just moving across, right? And they orbs, or some people call them spaceships, right? Mother Tonetti used to break them down as orbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the guide, he was saying that, he had to show everybody where they was, but he say some people that's connected to him, you understand me? They don't need a guide. As soon as you go out there, you gonna automatically see them, and you gonna be pointing them out to everybody else. So that's how it was, right? Because I definitely, the idea of coming from other stars, constellations, and dimensions, it's more so not a physical thing, but at some level of metaphysics, right? A part of you is of different planes and dimensions, and I really think that that's true for all of us, right? Because I think that each plane and
But
each dimension is connected to the next.
what they wrote down there is people got to understand when a lot of this information was given and people are jotting things down, it's at the mercy of each individual's interpretation, right? So, you know, let there be light. Well, what does that really mean? You feel me? What it means to me is going to be different to what it means to somebody over there. So, I think that I'm glad that you just read that because you will extrapolate exactly what that means for you. And it'll probably be more prolific than how it's broken down on that you know, whatever that website is. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't have the want or need to ever take things as they are. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? Because you number one, you always going to lose out on the beauty of the value that you can receive by interjecting your own consciousness onto something, because that to me is part of synchronicity, finding the meaning in otherwise meaningless. So synchronizing that to what it means to you adds meaning to anything that you view, because you add in the perspective of your own consciousness. So it's like when you go outside in the world and as you listen, you always have to ask yourself, what does that mean to me? You understand me? What does it mean to me? Right? Some people focus on trying to give people new knowledge. What's more valuable than new knowledge is reminding people of things that they already know. You understand me? Because when we have divine reminders, that's when you go to church, and that's always been valuable because every Sunday you're getting reminders. You're not particularly getting anything new because everything is in one book, but you're getting reminders to keep you following along a certain path so that it dominates the frequency that's within your consciousness. So for me, I'd rather be a great reminder than a new teacher. You understand me? Like, I don't have to always give you something new. Let me remind you of things that you need to be focused on, though. That makes, I believe, a masterful teacher, and finding new ways to give you information in a manner in which you can receive it in a better way than you have done before previously, which makes it more effective.
Bro, think about this. Education, right? The root word of education is educe. Educe literally means to bring out what's already within. Why do you call it education? Why is educe, right? We're not learning anything. We're bringing out what's within, right? So let's think about animals, us being the top of the food chain. Every animal on this planet has an innate desire to pass on data, its information, its DNA to its seed, right? So we have all of the information of all time. You know what I'm saying? We're energy, right? We are of energy. According to the law of thermodynamics, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes form. So literally everything in existence that ever has been and ever will be is within myself, with you, with everybody listening here. So the objective is we're not learning anything, right? It was a very savage people that had to be told, thou shalt not kill. You know what I'm saying? But everything that we need to know, we already know, but we need to bring it out. Like you said, we need reminders, divine reminders. You know what I mean? So, you know, we already have it all. It's all here, right? And it doesn't go away. Like even the wisdom of, you know, the stones of the pyramids in Kemet being moved, it's here. We just got to educe it, bring it out. It's coming out right now, but
Yeah, you gotta unlearn the things that, you know, how we do in today's society, because you have to imagine if a person wasn't given a education in today's sense, but you know they were given intelligence in a manner of how to think, right? But even teaching a person how to think already locks them in certain boxes because of epistemology and the way knowledge is taught and thinking methods are taught.
right,
So it's hard to get outside the box of what you've been given, right? It's very hard because you realize even the tools that I'm going to use to break out this box is given to me by someone else because this
right,
is programming. But there are things that are innate about our nature, right? And it's really the method of not thinking at all, right? And allowing yourself to be in flow to where when you think about a child, there was the story of this truck being stuck, right, under this pathway because it was above the regulated height that a truck's supposed to flow under. Now you got
mm-hmm,
all these adults standing around and they trying to figure out how the hell do we get this moving. Now they there for hours trying to figure it out because the truck is stuck. A child pointed to the tires and was like, "Why don't you just deflate the tires?" He said something of that nature. And it automatically threw a light bulb in all of the adults. You understand me? Because the child was right. Because the child was looking at everything that the adults was doing and started to question, why not this? Why not just cut the tire? Why not deflate the tire? Why not let out the air? Right? And so intelligence can get in the way of thinking. All right. I want you to really think about how the intelligence, the system that you use to cipher information, data, what you think make you smart can get in the way of actual thinking and creative thinking, right? So creative thinking in its core is being able to divorce from the things you know and get into the flow, and more so ask questions, right? Because as an artist, you ask, well, why can't we put this color here? Why can't this be like this? As an architect, why can't this shape be this way, right? So it's not coming from a place of what I know. It's coming from a place of what I don't know, what I want to learn, what I want to see, what can be developed. That's the true flow of the super mind, the creative mind. You understand me? And getting into that flow is not an easy thing, because reality is all about what you know, right? And so you're not taught the perspective of intelligence from a place of the unknown.
That's real, bro. This is a good thing. For those who don't know, Keys and I, we're working on something very special, protocol for you all, and flow is something that we will definitely be addressing. Listen, I've been on flow, I've been activating flow consciously for a long time, and then I've come into the knowledge that, oh, they teach this shit. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be implementing some of that in what we giving y'all. You know what I mean? Because listen, anything that we can use, we should, to advance ourselves and to ascend. You know, and being in flow that's when you're living. That's like, you know, a lucid dream. That's lucid living, is when you can activate flow at will. That's lucid living, and that's really living, y'all. So we all
That right there.
we like operating like chemical robots. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be people. You know what I'm saying? We need to be the organic beings that we are. You know, people are so, man, fuck the box, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck the box. You know what I mean? Life,
Not
listen.
really understand that lucid living concept though. It's the coldest, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man. But see, we got to program ourselves. We got to be our own coders. Listen, people, y'all got to realize it's everything is coding in algorithms. Even our DNA, our biology is literally, DNA is literally codes. You know what I'm saying? There's code that they find in the cosmos that is very synonymous to binary computer codes. That's above my intelligence level. You know what I'm saying? But it's there. You know what I mean? So it's like the coding for ourselves is we can't control that, or somebody else can control it and code you and program you. And we gotta get to the gym, but I want to elaborate a little bit on coding and programming. Even your ministers and preachers, when you go to wherever you go for your place of worship, when you receive the word, remember, y'all, they're reading the scripture, right? There's no footnote for the scripture. They're giving y'all their breakdown of the word. You know what I'm saying? Y'all take that as gospel. Y'all can read that same scripture and educe what you got gathered from it yourself. Write notes. You know what I'm saying? Do church on your own. Go to the mosque on your own. Read scripture and then write down what it means. You don't know what certain words mean? Look it up. You get a dictionary. Like, man, we look up everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? You should never use words in your vocabulary that you cannot define. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we'll say, oh, well, what does that mean? And you'll say, well, it's kind of like you give an example of it, but that's not really understanding it. So give yourselves a little homework. Give yourself the mental exercise of, you know, if you're reading scripture or whatever you read, really try to understand it. Do a little mini report on it. That's a sermon. You know, that's the word. So yeah.
that's key. You know, I get to my lucid dreaming. I ain't gonna lie, this my shortcut. I be trying to
Hey,
get there.
that's
Like
what's up.
I usually, and I've been having the most vivid dreams lately. Like I be going through, it'd be like 3-part mini series. Start off one way. It usually end up me with some powers or something. Yesterday I had Wolverine powers and shit. I could fly. It was cold. I ain't gonna,
Wolverine.
yeah, man. And you know Wolverine, he got a hidden power most people don't know, where he can actually heat up his claws. You
Mm-hmm.
understand me? Towards the end of it, we had cracked this code, and we had unlocked this crystal realm or something, and then all of a sudden, you know, I seen the claws come out, and then I tried it. I'm like, all right, what other new power I got? Because one of the theme of it, and I'm gonna let y'all go there, is that, and I think this about life. Throughout life, you develop new powers, right? So there was this idea that, like, let's say, like, if you look at an X-Men character or a Marvel character, they start off, they got one power, they can fly, they can shoot beams. They may never test themselves ever again to see if they have a new power, right? They never even tried. They may have latent powers dormant within themselves that they picked up and or developed over time. And I truly believe that's how we are as a people. We have latent powers that we be like, okay, well, I notice I can speak well, or I'm a great salesman, or I can do this thing. But you never tapped into the other latent powers that you have and you develop throughout iterations of time. And that's how I am. I'm always trying to figure out what is my other superpower that I have that is as great as this one that I can add on, right, to, you know, the biography of who I am.
That's dope, bro. Yeah, we gotta talk more on dreams, bro.
Oh,
On
for sure.
waking life, which one is real? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they both real.
They are.
Red or blue pill, man. It's all up to you.
All right, bro. Hey, I love you, bro.
Love you too, man. Peace, God.